Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 18, and we are focusing on verse number 60. Lord Krishna is presenting a synopsis, an essence of all that he has spoken in the Gita scripture. So if you miss them, now you are not missing them. But the message behind it, find time to study all the details. When you enjoy something very delicious, first thing you do is eat. Then you ask the recipe. So, स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धा स्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यसि avashopi tat. O son of Kunti, that's Arjuna, the actions that you do not want to perform due to ignorance, you will be compelled to perform even against your will, bound as you are to your own karma and inborn nature. Giving you a simple insight, you cannot suddenly say that I'm going to adopt this course of activity because you are saying it. You may say that to a person, but you will not really do it. Because you are led by your nature. For example, Arjuna says that fighting is useless. I'm not going to fight. If Krishna were to tell him, all right, then become a sannyasi. Now, try to imagine, in an ashram, he becomes a sannyasi and sees dogs going after a deer. He will shoot them out. See, the same talent that was needed for a profound cause, he will use it in a useless manner. So you have no choice. Karmic process flows in every person. So you cannot simply make a choice. I will either do all these karmas or just shut everything and stay in an ashram completely detached. You are just fooling yourself. Now, therefore, try to focus your mind to how to utilize the normal flow of nature through you. The river is flowing near you. How to utilize that river and take as much advantage as possible. So the actions that you do not want to perform due to ignorance, you will be compelled to perform, even against your will. So if you are not following a right course, you are going to use all your energy towards a wrong course. So you have no other choice. So therefore, create a right choice and keep your attention on how to handle your actions in the line with karma yoga, feelings in accordance with bhakti yoga, devotion, how to handle your willing process of the mind through meditation, jnana yoga, and your understanding movement, the intellect, function of intellect, how to make it operate towards the real, profoundest understanding. Who am I? What's the nature of the world? How am I to attain God realization? The same intellect that works in a foxy way, where can I find my cherished object to prey upon? I'm joking, but same intellect that works in a foxy way. Try to resolve so many problems of the world, even the problems of the stars and everything. But how to allow that intellect to be guided to resolve the biggest and most real challenge before you, the understanding of who am I? What makes this whole body of nervous system, the mind, where does the mind work? What makes the brain operate? And behind all that, who fashioned all this? Did I? You can have wonderful body, but can you be really proud that this is my body? So that type of promotion of understanding, the highest level is jnana. So karma, actions, feelings, moving towards bhakti yoga, devotion, willing movement of the mind, how to direct mental energy, where to direct it. That willing process becomes controlled when dhyana follows the footsteps of jnana. Dhyana is Lakshmana, following the footsteps of Rama. And Rama is jnana in the heart. When knowledge becomes completely profound, then the reality is Brahman alone is Brahmameva. Aham Brahmasmi. The message behind this verse is that continue to do your duties, the duties that are sahaj, normal, led by your karmic process. You are brought up in a particular family, and you draw from the family various artistic talents or mathematical talents, whatever. You draw from the family various traits for your mind. I'm giving you details, but the idea is everyone finds certain course of activity more natural to the person. But then society, turning to distraction, you go after what will give me more money, not more satisfaction. See, you're a mathematics teacher and will enjoy teaching mathematics. So someone says, a literary teacher is needed. And they will give you more money. You'll find it very difficult to work with poems, etc. But for the sake of money, you will work very hard. So your work will be filled with perspiration, no inspiration. But if you follow swadharma, sahaj, you will enjoy it, even if things don't work out, either don't give you much money or things are not so satisfactory from outer point of view. Yet you will find joy in that. So that's a broad way to understand. Now going to a little subtler aspect. As you assimilate spiritual teachings, you do not create a constant conflict in your mind about, am I doing Swadharma or am I doing paradharma? Each time you find something shocking in your job, say it's paradharma. It's not my dharma. But I'm leading you to understand no matter what type of job you are doing, don't create a conflict. God has placed you in that situation. And therefore, how best can you handle it? And do allow space within your mind. Your mind should not become completely drenched and drowned in your activity. Allow a room. Open a little window. Get the sunlight coming in. So while you are doing your work, let bhakti enter in your personality, devotion. Thereby, I'm saying, opening a little window, allowing the sun to come in. How can it be done? That's what all that yoga is all about. Even while you are doing your job, learn yoga exercises, pranayams, relaxation, japa, meditation. Bring all these in your daily life. When you bring them, you are not depriving yourself of time. That so much time has been used up by yoga. I have no time for myself. Rather, miraculously, we are having more time, more energy, more efficiency, more of everything that's good. Now comes to third stage, doing all your duties. Allow your mind to understand that real success in work is not securing the fruit of work, the result. The result is not in your hands. You are a farmer and you did your job, sow seeds and did everything possible. But if rain didn't come in time, don't become completely desolate and sink in dejection. All that you should understand, that you did your duty, what was to be done. And that is all you have to do. God is the one who handles everything else. Whatever you did was not wasted. The very idea, the very experience of having done any job correctly has automatically given you some type of positive impression in your unconscious. And that is more important than waiting to see how the fruit comes in and who gets the fruit. But figure that out. This is allegorical language. In simple terms, it is very natural that you do expect that if you are doing certain things, it must bring a certain result. It must be all in purview. And you should do it everything possible, leave no stone unturned for that type of perspective, for that type of goal. But while doing it, develop a subtle understanding that this whole process is a kind of worship of God. And if you have done well, God is pleased. Things may not exactly work out in divine plan. And there will be purpose behind it. You also understand there is a purpose behind it. So you live with a broader and profounder type of understanding. 61st verse. Ishvarah sarvabhutanam hirdesherjuna tishtati Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. O Arjuna, God is seated in the heart of all creatures. He causes all beings to revolve by his maya, as if they are mounted on a machine. It's a very simple way to. Every person, all that you do, your body, your mind, your intellect, your ego, all these are mounted on a big machine, a cosmic machine. Think of a big machine. Find a corner of that machine. In that corner, there is another corner. Go into minutest corner. There you are. You're mounted on the machine. Your intellect, your ego, all the operations of your brain, they are all behind that, all there is a cosmic hand. And of course, while I'm describing it, you are given self-effort, the key to allow more resources to come to you that are positive. So you have room for changing your karmas. You are not gripped by karma. Therefore, use purushartha, self-effort. But using self-effort, understand the key to self-effort is your understanding, relation with God. How much can you feel the presence of God? What attitude do you have towards God? When you are restless, helpless in the world, where do you find a support? Where do you turn? That process has to be figured out by your mind. And the answer behind all that, love of God. You must say, how can I find my love? Your life is filled with love. You love objects, love relatives, friends. Your love is always operating. But behind all your love, the deepest urge of your soul is love of God. All others are like shimmering waves. The reality behind the urge to love is love of God. So how to bring that love in your personality that will nurture all your little loves? And even while going after little loves, your heart will be more and more united with God. Figure that out. In other words, all loves are perfectly okay and joyous. But behind all that, understand you are touching the toe of God, touching the feet of God, and so forth. More Godward love, greater is your profound, loving relation with your family and with all humanity and with all creation. Another simile of the machine in old style technology of turning grains into powder used that grinding machine. The grains that are close to the axle, the center, they remain untouched. no matter how forceful is your grinding process. It's a mathematical illustration. Figure that. The more closer you are with God, the grinding and all the trouble and the turmoil of the world, you can listen to them, but they don't touch you. And you have to figure out mathematically how closer you are. If you are distant from God, then not only you listen, you get crushed, powdered. So therefore, how to live your life? Being close to God, Ishwar Sanidhya. Just like babies, when they find trouble around, they come close to the mother. As long as they are close to the mother, nothing matters. And don't wait for troubles to come to get closer to God. You must realize with a mature mind, they do things that seem so delightful, they are appearances. Sometimes they hold greater trouble. The snake comes, looks so beautiful to a child, but it holds venom. What I'm leading to understand that whether you are facing a life of joy or life of problems, no matter what, the central joy of life is turning to God, viewing the whole world as His glory manifesting everywhere. All good things coming to you from God, whether it comes through your father, mother, relative, or what. Everything, even the mosquito bites you, is coming from God to make you understand how to keep yourself healthy. The simple message behind it, this world is a grinding machine. How much you want to go into the news of grinding, there is no end to it. Open your TV or whatsoever. And from North Pole to South Pole, you are filled with news. Can let all the news break upon your head. And you end up with big load on your head. Headache. But in spite of all this goes on happening, if you learn the art given by the sages of integral yoga, bringing in your life, all these happenings don't bother you. You become like the sky. The sky sees everything. All the clouds come in and all types of things they do. The sky remains. The sky is as soft and tender when dark clouds come and do many nasty things. And sky remains the same tender sky when beautiful clouds beautify the sky. Follow that deeper level of ideal. The world will continue to have terrible things. Don't live your life to straighten the terrible aspect of the world. That's nothing to do with you. What? If there is a practical problem you are facing, then handle. But don't go after creating your image, how this is the way the world should be. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tatprasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. 62 verse. O Bharata, that's Arjuna, take refuge in him alone with all your being. By the grace of God, you will attain supreme peace and the supreme abode. Surrender to God. But surrender sarvabhavena. Sarvabhavena means manasa vacha karmana. Through your mind must develop that sense of profound surrender to God. Like a baby is in the arms of mother. Your mind must develop that type of peace. Then you are surrendering mentally to God. Words, understand, they are not coming out of your ego's intelligence. They are inspired by Saraswati Devi within you. They are coming from divine source. So with that divine source being the source of your inspiration in your words, expressing of words. Another aspect, give value to your words. Do not say nasty things. Nasty things means just like putting garlic and onions in your mouth. And then suddenly realize that I should make amends. I made an error. But now we have a little hard time to wash out the smell of the onion and garlic. Try to be wise. So that movement is by your words you are turning towards God. Actions, which I have already described, do your duties as if God is doing through you. And stay relaxed. But do your duty well, perfect. Let me give you some points. Turn your attention to doing duties, living your life with joyous activity. Don't let your life be a dull-wit life. Doing nothing puts you under greater pressure than doing things and facing the life's movement. A river that flows on has greater joy than becoming stagnant, crowded with fishes and turtles. Everything that you hold, healthy part of your personality, keep it in with exercise. Exercise your fingers. Exercise, I'm joking. But the idea is your brain, your learning, learn more literature, discipline more of your speech, try to figure out what can I say that can go deep into the heart of people. And so life is a constant learning process. But learning in the positive way, not in the negative way. Negative way, what can I do to revenge on the person? He shows one tooth, also 32 teeth. Not that type. And doing your duties, develop a sense, I am not doing it. Akarta. and gradually develop a profounder insight that you are being led by God. If you straighten yourself in a perfect way, just like you do shavasana, lie down completely relaxed, then you become aware that the whole relaxing process is in a cosmic hand. Similarly, as you begin to relax in your daily life, in that relaxing state of your mind, I'm using relax in a profound way, allowing the mind to be in harmony, in peace. To the extent you do, you begin to feel the operation of divine grace. You become aware how many miracles God has done for you. Instead of being pressured by all the negative news that have come on your head, figure out lots of good things that have happened to you. Miracles and miracles. And that God has lovingly done all that. The more you become aware, the more you become recipient of divine grace. The more you discover you love God, the more that idea, I love God. God loves you 1,000 times. Simple mathematics. And when you live by that type of experience, your life brings to you a sense of peace. And that sense of peace you experience in a progressive manner, more and more, until there is param shanti, absolute peace. You don't go into pieces. You will attain supreme peace and the supreme abode. Abode is again figurative term. There is no house to go in. There is no palace to go in. And reflected suns are all in trouble. And I'm giving allegorical way to understand. They receive the divine voice, a divine guidance, that your abode is not these little jars. Your abode is the sun. What does it mean? They don't have to go there and live in palaces in the sun. They are the sun. Realization, I am that. That's the abode, the highest paramdham, supreme abode, is a revelation of truth. Itite jnanam akyatam guhyad guhyataram maya vimrishyaitat athe asheshena yathechasi tatha kuru. Thus I have imparted to you the wisdom that is the secret of all secrets. Reflect upon it fully and then act as you please. The term, Sanskrit word for secret, guhya. Guhya comes from guha. Guha means cave. Knowledge that leads you to the depth of the cave of your heart. Most people don't go into the cave. They stay on the outside of the cave. The heart goes this way, profound, and do nothing for your deeper fulfillment. You stay in the outer structure of the cave, filled with trees and birds and monkeys and donkeys and all that. Imply, what do I imply? A life that is only working with practical physical realities of the senses. going after only sense enjoyment, then you are just on the surface, on the very outer setting of the cave. If you move from that, you go into deeper, going first your physical realities, then the realities that are based upon your sentiments. You go deeper, you're going deeper into the cave. And then there are many other planes that you go through until there is a depth of the cave, which is the heart of the heart, the profoundest center. Therefore, the term Guru comes in, one who illumines the cave of the heart. The teaching that does not allow you to just stay on the surface of the cave, but go into it. And you have wondrous things waiting for you as you go inner and inner and inner. And all that is, again, allegorical process. Guhyat guhyataram maya. This knowledge that I have given you is secret of secrets, simply implying that it is subtle knowledge. All the physical knowledge you have of the world, the stars, all things, physical knowledge of physical reality, all that becomes little when you develop profounder knowledge of psychology, mind and its operation. All that becomes little when you go into the insight into how does intellect operate, and becomes still more when you become to realize the very ego in you doesn't have a reality in it. So you are moving from Guhyat, secret of secret of secret. This knowledge, the Gita, Lord Krishna says, that I have imparted to you, that wisdom unfolds, reveals to you all the secret. First, secrets of sequence, secret behind every step of your movement, until you have the secret of all secrets, the climax. And when you have reflected upon this whole plan, and you have intellectually, you have become comfortable with the whole understanding, then do as you please. You are not automatically, things change. You are not looking at God always. Look, tell me, am I doing the right thing? I'm eating, should I achieve it? No. That would be a miserable life. The end result, you are allowing your entire life to flow to your deepest fulfillment. Not somebody else's fulfillment, your own fulfillment. And your conscience becomes so mystically powerful that whatever your conscience dictates is like the voice of God. And it is not, to you, it is not somebody telling you to do. It is you who want to do it, to your satisfaction. And when you come to that, God says, wonderful baby. You are dearest to me. When you are free, you are enjoying. Think it in an ordinary way. If a baby is enjoying exactly according to your dictates, you go on asking and then the baby goes on doing it. higher level, baby just does it by it without your being dictated. And mother becomes more happy that she doesn't have to give the dictation to the baby. The relationship becomes more sweet. So bring out a sweet relation with God. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.